Alright, so basically this panel is going to be about the sequel to Tokyo Ghoul, which I'm sure all of you have read it. And how far has everybody gotten? Has anybody read the new chapter yet? Who's up to date?
I'm about to start book 10. So.
Okay, so not everybody's up to date. Okay, I think I made a good stopping point. For the most part, how far has everybody gotten, like, timeline-wise? Like, how far have you gotten? Don't be afraid, I don't bite.
Doctor's daughter.
So I can see no one really knows how far they've gotten. I'm only gonna, I only got to like chapter 100 on this, so.
Only chapter 100.
Yeah, I only got as far as the big reveal. That's about as far as I got. But again, major spoilers, so I'm being dead serious. There's a lot of spoilers in this. And if you're not a fan of death, I suggest you leave the room right now because this is consumed by death.
We all love it. We're all ghouls here.
Yeah, we're all ghouls here. Everyone's welcome. But seriously though, if you have not read Re, you don't need to be in here. Unless you're a young child and you don't know what it is. But basically, we're just going to pick up where Tokyo Ghoul left off. And it essentially ended very open and abrupt, and no one knows why it ended that way. But Ishida is a very tricky person. Essentially, it ended with Kaneki dying, in a way. And then skip to 2 years later into Tokyo Ghoul Re, and this new guy appears. His name's, I'm going to butcher it so badly, Heisei Sasaki. And he's a ghoul investigator that mentors 4 teenagers who are very troublesome to him. And they all call him Mom for some weird reason. Because he is like a mom, I'll be honest. He's like a mom. It's later confirmed, but Heisei has this voice in his head that taunts him all the time and says that you're weak, give me back my body. And it's Kaneki's doing what he wants to do because he wants his body back, who wouldn't? Of course, he doesn't want to coexist, and I don't know if you've heard of the split personality disorder that Kaneki has had in the past after he was tortured. That somewhat comes into play, but it's more along the lines of it's just another personality he's created that he just wants to get rid of. Poor Heisei. The Kink Squad. Come on. Stupid laptop. Is essentially they were brought in by the CCG, and they're basically paid to have this Quinque installed in their body. And they're basically quarter ghouls, which means they have the darkened sclera, but it's not completely black like a ghoul's is. So they're not ghoul, but they're not human either. But they're more along the lines of human than they are ghoul. Akira leads the squad, and Heisei is just the mentor at this point. The members are up there on the screen. I didn't put the new members in here because I figured no one's gotten that far yet, but I don't really care much for the new members. I'm just going to be real with you, I don't really care much for them. First, we'll talk about this guy. If you don't mind me cursing, say okay.
Okay.
He is a little shit. He loves promotion. And he thinks that he's going to get all the credit, and he wants to just get up there. And I put a little meme up there that says, sometimes it physically pains me to hold back my sarcastic comments. And yeah, he talks under his breath all the time. He talks shit. But he gets better later on.
Every anime has one.
Yep, every anime has one, and this is that guy.
Every bar needs a booper, that's why we invited him.
And this is Mutsuki, who is one of the very few canonically trans characters in the series. And I think this is a really good approach because Ishida is somewhat okay with the LGBT community as a whole. And I think that's kind of like a big step for that community. And Mutsuki basically is a very troubled child. his parents were murdered by ghouls, or it says that his parents were murdered by ghouls, but there's a deeper, darker secret about this boy that I probably shouldn't reveal, but I'll probably get to later. He wears the eye patch like Kaneki does because he can't control his ghoul powers like Kaneki did, and I love how Ishida kind of parallels them together. Like, they suffer the same sort of consequences, but not really. But they're very similar in a lot of aspects, and he needs to be protected, like, desperately. This is Shirazu. I didn't get a lot of good pictures of him. I don't know why he has sharp teeth. That's just part of his character design.
Raisins.
Just raisins. He was the squad leader after Uri was kind of like taken down from that position because
Fired.
Haisei thought he was too arrogant to lead, and he's like, well, Shirazu deserves it more than you do, so I'm gonna get the leader position with him. He's not so much a little shit as you are, as he is. So, Shirazu dies, unfortunately. I will get to that later. I will be honest, he does die, but there's a good reason why he died. I think, I don't know. That's just what Ishida, does, is kill people.
Playing the chainsaws?
No. But he basically joined the CCG because he wanted to raise money to help his dying sister, who's in the hospital. And she has this ROS, which means they're not ghouls, but they grow Kagane, and they grow through the body. And he's trying to help get the cure for her. That's why he joined. Sayako is special. She's basically the weeaboo of the group. She loves eating candy, she loves playing video games, and she doesn't really want to do any fighting of any sort.
So do I.
But her hair's actually blue. It doesn't show it in the manga because it's obviously not colored, but her hair's blue, and Uri's is purple and Shirazu's is yellow, just so you guys know. But she joined because her mom kind of made her, because money. Her mom's kind of lazy, and so is she, so it's like, money, I'll live off you. I know I probably skipped over a few things, because I kind of finished this a little last minute, but the first mission that they went on involved taking down a taxi driver, and it didn't end well. So, then it goes on later to the auction raid, which I don't know if you can read any of that. But basically, it was a raid to take down Big Madam, who, if you all know, is Juzo's mama.
She big.
She is a big lady. She really is. I didn't put her in here, but she was very abusive and very neglectful, and
I'm still having Vietnam flashbacks of reading that.
she essentially castrated Juzo, and that's wrong.
She literally did.
Literally, with a hammer. Who does that? A ghoul, obviously. But anyway, back to the subject of what I was.
Mrs. Bates.
Anyway, they had Mutsuki and Juzo join the auction so they could capture Big Madam and take her out. Well, it didn't go exactly to plan because Mutsuki ended up being sold to Big Madam, and so they had to rescue him, and just a lot of shit went down. Sato showed up, and Haisei had to fight him, and Hinami protected Haisei because she's like, Oni-chan, he smells like Oni-chan. As we all know, Hinami sees Kaneki as a big brother. And so she was placed under his custody and was placed into Kakuya prison. They were also trying to take down Nutcracker, as you can see in the comic, which they successfully did, and her final words haunted Shirazu. And even to his death, her words haunted him, because he started to understand why ghouls wanted to be equals to humans. Because ghouls aren't treated as equals. They're treated like savage beasts that just feast on flesh all the time, and they just don't have any feelings or any human emotion. They don't feel love. But they do, and they have feelings like we do. Ghouls have feelings too, guys. Come on.
Ghouls are people too.
They are. They really are. And I hope one day they get equality, but we don't know. Ishida is weird about certain things. So after the auction raid, we get into the Tsukiyama family extermination, which Hayase had ended up trying to kill Suyama, which a lot of people was upset about, you know.
Trash can.
Which he didn't die, of course, you know, because he can't die. He's one of the major characters. Even though Kaneki does try to kill him.
You can't kill that trash can.
You
I
can.
love him too much.
Essentially, they try to take down the Suyama family, and Eto shows up, and basically, we get the reawakening of Kaneki-ken, who is very different. A lot of people thought his hair turned red because of the blood, but it was black. So, yeah, pardon the H word in there, it's what he says. Shut the hell up. But, this personality really threw off the Tokyo Ghoul fandom because he seems to show a lot of hatred. Which, it reveals during that time frame that Kaneki was actually abused by his mother as a child. And everyone he's ever loved has abused him. And that's all he thinks about is, you know, he hates people who's hurt him. But he protects those he cares about. You know, it's kind of like the whole Jason thing where it's like, I want to protect those I care about and I don't want to kill those who I hate or have hurt me. And after the extermination is over and Shirazu dies, Kaneki gets a new partner. His name's Furuta Nomura. However the hell that's pronounced. The fandom just calls him Fruit-chan or the mole because he has a... I mean, just look, there's a little
Looks
mole.
like a mole.
He does look like a mole, doesn't he?
It's like a little mole
Like he has a
rat.
mole under his right eye.
Looks like Rufus.
Yeah. he kind of does.
He's a naked mole rat.
He does. And basically he and Fruit-chan go owl hunting, essentially. And they eventually capture her and bring her into Cochlea to dispose of her. And after she's captured, she reveals that she is a ghoul on national television. And of course, everybody's watching this. Toga's watching this. Aogiri Tree's watching this. So it's like, whoa, hello, this famous author is a half-ghoul, or a ghoul, sorry. This author is a ghoul. So it's kind of shocking. And just look at Kaneki's face, dude. I mean... He's like, bitch, what the fuck?
He just
On
found
national
out Snape's Voldemort.
Like, dude. He's like, really? And this obviously brought a lot of controversy between the human and ghoul interactions. And a bunch of ghoul sympathizers started rising up against the CCG for ghoul equality, which eventually will turn into the organization Kaneki forms. And Eto wants Kaneki to kill the Lion King. And we still don't know who it is at this point, which eventually we'll get to. Essentially after this, Kaneki realizes that he doesn't want to die. He wants to... Well, not that he doesn't want to die, it's just he wants to live for someone else and help them. So he decides to help Hinami escape from the prison and escape from being disposed of in the grinder. Yes, all ghouls end up getting grinded up, into mush, essentially.
Boiling greatest people.
Yeah. Essentially, ghouls get thrown into a meat grinder and then get turned into quinkays. Yay, dead friends.
Dead friends.
Literally. Really, quinkays are your
All
dead
my
friends.
friends are dead.
Yeah, pretty much. And Kaneki's dead inside. At this point, Kaneki's dead inside. But after he decides to help her escape, we have the epic climactic battle that we expected for a long time coming. And all I could think of looking at this was like, dang, look at those muscles. Like, has he been working out? He must have been. He's got them Farrah titties. I'm being serious, guys. That was what's going through my mind when this was happening. Like, dude, he's taking off his jacket. Oh, hello. I want to have your babies.
Oh, no. There you go.
Babies eat you.
I'm sorry. Sometimes I tend to get carried away.
Just a wee bit.
So, Kaneki is able to destroy Arima's weapon and disarm him. And it's like, okay, I defeated you. I'm not going to kill you, though. But guess what happens? We get this. What the fuck, Ishida? I liked this man. As soon as I was beginning to like him, you kill him. You write him off as some other character that's died in the series. You can't do this, man.
Lure me in and then you just take it away.
Oh my
His
god.
watch is in
Take everything I love. Let me
Essentially,
feel for 1 minute.
yes, please. And I think if you notice Kaneki's hair in this frame, he looks like a lot like Heisei, the way this is framed. And Arima kind of looked after Heisei as a son, and Kaneki did admit that, you know, Arima was like his father, because he never had a father growing up. His father was absent.
Who has put 2 and 2 together?
I honestly don't think Arima is canonically his father or biologically, but he's essentially like his foster father, I guess you could say, like his adopted father, that he really looked up to and both looked up to and feared.
You have your realities and I'll have
Yeah.
mine.
Eventually, at this point, as he's dying in Kaneki's arms, he reveals the truth about this thing called the Sunlit Garden, which is where he came from. Basically, the CCG, or sorry, the organization within the CCG called V, has the Sunlit Garden, and it's a place where they make ghouls. They breed humans and ghouls, and they make halflings. Arima was one of those failed halflings. So he was essentially a demi-human, and that's why he had such quick reflexes. He had the ghoul reflexes. He couldn't produce a Kagane or the ghoul eyes. So he was essentially a failure, but he came out as one of the strongest investigators in the CCG. In fact, he was the strongest. No one could top him. And he was suffering from a glaucoma. Isn't it glaucoma where the eye starts?
Glaucoma.
Yeah, it's glaucoma. He, his left eye, well, he was going blind in, and Kaneki realized, well, damn, he's dying. And he's telling me all this. But it's a good thing he tells all, because if this, you know, if he doesn't tell him, then we're never going to know ourselves. So basically, after Arima dies, and he tells Kaneki, I want you to tell everyone that you killed me. Make it look like that, you know, you murdered me and that I didn't kill myself, because, well, that would be a sign of weakness to commit suicide. I guess in the CCG, I don't know. But after that, Kaneki leaves to escape, and Arima's squad has offered to help. Or sorry, that was their final mission. Squad 0 was requested to help Kaneki escape and resign. He comes across Eto in his escape, and unfortunately, it hasn't really been confirmed if she's dead, but in this panel she says she's going to die. So we can only safely assume that she is dead and gone and no longer with us. But since Kaneki had defeated Arima, he was crowned the One-Eyed King as the ruler of not the ruler, but, you know, like the strongest of all ghouls in existence. I mean, just look at that Kagane, man. I wouldn't want to be hit with that.
Murder.
Like, for real. Who would want to be hit by that? Or stabbed? That looks painful. After Kaneki finally leaves Kakle, like he escapes with Toga and everyone else, he forms the organization GOAT, which is essentially kind of like a peace movement, but underground. He hopes to one day achieve equality between humans and ghouls, and this is as far as I put in here, because I just kind of drifted off into sleep mode. But basically, Kaneki plans to achieve equality. That's really his goal, since he's the king, I guess you could say. Currently, we don't really know why Kaneki still wants to live. A lot of people think, actually it was revealed that the only reason he's probably still going to live is because Hide asked him to in a hallucination.
Damn it, Hide.
And that's another thing, we don't know if Hide's dead or not. It's still unconfirmed. We don't know where he is, or if he's even alive. Please let him be alive. Bless his heart.
Or if he's a washu or not.
Yeah, or if he's a Washu. A lot of people have theorized he's a Washu, which the Washu family was revealed to be ghouls, which is an ironic twist.
If you don't know who the Washu family are, they're the family that runs the CCG.
They're the head honchos. A ghoul-run organization killing ghouls. How fucked up is that?
It's a good cover.
It's a good cover.
That's a CIA
but
cover up
it's,
right there.
It's messed up. In a world where ghouls are trying to be equal with humans, and you have a bunch of ghouls who are just wanting to kill other ghouls, how is that fair? That's not. Other ghouls don't have that luxury.
We all can't be rich like you.
Yeah, not everybody can be rich, protected by the government. I mean, even Skiama's family, they had fake hospital records to hide their identities, to make them seem like humans.
Damn
But eventually
Frenchies.
they eventually got found out and the Skiama family operation happened. But the Washus end up getting murdered, thank God. But there's still Furuta, who is the illegitimate son of the Washus, and now he's the head honcho. And oh Lord, please have mercy on everybody's souls. I am terrified of that man. Sato and Almon are having an existence. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, but they're having a crisis with their identities. Like, they don't know if they want to keep living or not, because they're half ghouls. They were turned half ghoul by force. They had no choice. They were experimented on by the Augiri, and it was pretty bad. It revealed how Sato became a ghoul, and I read it, and I blanked, and I'm like, why do you do this to me?
I threw up a little.
It's pretty nasty.
It was terrible.
It was terrible. Like, dude, why would you do this to? I understand he's a ghoul, but why would you do this to a human being?
Raisins.
For science. That's why.
Sweet, delicious, magical science.
The same similar thing happened to Almon after the owl extermination. Akira and Toka made up, sort of, in the most recent chapter. They kind of met up and talked about how Toka murdered her father and how she's moved past it, and Akira's still kind of lingering in the past, still upset. But she eventually realizes that it's not okay to live in the past. You can't just hold a hatred for somebody all the time. It's not good. Kaneki's organization Goat is still trying to figure out how to gain equality between humans and ghouls, which is still a difficult process for them, because most humans still fear ghouls, and the reason they fear them is because they're different. Ghouls can only eat human flesh, and that's their only source of, sustenance. It's the only thing they can derive nutrition from. So hopefully, I hope that they can achieve equality. This is what I expected future chapters, potentially. I'd like to know where ghouls come from. Like, where did they,
When a mommy ghoul and a daddy ghoul love each
yes,
other
but what
very
was the
much.
future? Who was the first ghoul? Like, where did they come from? What caused their DNA to become what they are? We still don't know, and Ishida still hasn't told us anything.
Ghouls are
They've only
Wendigos.
told us, he's only told us their anatomy and how they work.
I have
but,
a theory that ghouls are insects, personally.
It started with
Possibility.
a
I mean, because all their covenant comes out of their back, like different spots on their back.
The human-looking thing is just an exoskeleton.
It's possible. Like,
That's why it's so hard.
but
That's
the
why
thing
regular steel
is,
can't cut it.
the thing is, the covenant manifests in like a sac in their back. So explain that.
Science.
It's an organ. It's
I
an
like
organ
breaking all
that.
that.
Yeah, it was like an organ that was developed over time. We still don't know where they came from, and we still don't know
It was
everything about them.
it was a mosquito bite. It started the first human.
Maybe.
We start digging in Africa.
Eventually.
And then, they got bit by
Eventually,
some
but-
weird
What
bug.
is this?
But there are other ghoul factions throughout the world. It's mainly focused in Japan because Ishida is Japanese. But I hope for peaceful coexistence. Maybe in the end, whenever it does end. I hope it doesn't end abruptly like Tokyo Ghoul did. But there's definitely going to be a lot more violence than peace.
They should do a movie for this.
A lot more violence. We still don't know if there's going to be a season 3 or a reboot or anything, but
Well, they talked about the Tokyo Ghoul.
live action movie.
Jack.
Tokyo Ghoul Jack.
Yeah.
Jack and Pinto are OVAs. There's like spin-offs.
They keep showing it. I'm like,
Yeah, spin-offs are just like the extra stories within Tokyo Ghoul. They're not after Tokyo Ghoul. Most of them are before. But this is what I look for to happen potentially.
the live action that would be good. You just
Live
depends on what
action,
they
Don't
do.
let Hollywood do
Yeah,
it.
don't let Hollywood.
Yeah, Hollywood has no hand in the live action movie. It's all going to be from Ishida. He's going to work directly with the people to create the film, so you know it's going to be kick-ass.
Because Attack on Titan was horrible.
Attack on Titan, I haven't seen it, but I heard it was really bad. Like, I heard
I'm
that.
gonna tell you right now, I had my hopes up, and
Yeah, I had high hopes too, but it just kind
I
of.
like the story did not even.
And Levi wasn't even Levi. Anyway, we're getting off the subject.
The ghouls and human peaceful coexistence
Yes.
ain't gonna happen.
I think it's gonna happen maybe in the end or in like the sequel to Reed, if there is a sequel, or if there's
I
like a
feel like
spin-off
if it
series.
is, it's gonna be too late. Somebody
Yeah.
will realize.
Big bug-looking thing. I'm gonna shoot it.
Yeah.
Welcome to the
Well,
South, ghouls.
I guess we'll eventually find out, maybe one day, whenever Ishida decides to end all the suffering.
It's just like X-Men. At the end, Logan is gonna be called Kaneki. He has one movie by himself. He's gonna die at the end.
Yeah, and okay, be honest. Who all thinks Toka and Kaneki are gonna get together in the end?
Yo, what's up?
No.
I mean,
not
come
Spawn.
on.
No.
There's
No.
there's so much
Tragedy.
like
Tragedy.
official
Tragedy.
art
She's
of
gonna
them
die.
together.
Ooh.
She's not gonna die, okay?
Tragedy.
There is so much official art from Ishida himself of them two together. You can't tell me it's not.
They're gonna have kids.
You're
See,
gonna
that
have
makes
to
it
prove
so
me
much
wrong,
worse.
son.
So much worse.
It's a lie.
It makes it so much worse.
You see how much he likes messing with our
Okay.
emotions.
Let's be real. Let's be real.
Kaneki and Tsukiyama will happen.
I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think it's ever gonna happen.
She
I
hates
think
it, that's why I have
I
to
don't
say.
hate it. I just don't ship it like a lot of people do.
Why ship it? That ship has sailed.
Sorry. Anyway, we'll talk about ships here in a minute, but yeah, I honestly think this is potentially what's gonna happen, and I think Toga and Kaneki are gonna end up together. I really do. I genuinely do think they're gonna end up together in the end. Now let's get into the fun stuff instead
Speaking
of
of
the
ships.
nitty gritty. You like the little photo I put in there? The little comic.
He looks terrifying.
He does look terrifying. In all honesty, Reaper Kaneki is probably one of the more terrifying versions of Kaneki out there.
Well,
But because clowns taste funny. Like that's funny. Well, first we'll talk about predictions and theories. All right, now's your chance to tell me what you think's gonna happen next, or you know.
I'm just saying, man.
Yes, I wrote some pretty funny stuff.
So y'all are gonna die.
I'm telling you, Tokyo might, it might happen.
Yes.
Okay, so in the newest chapter, like the newest one, the eighth, I think it's the eighth, Mark 8th or something. You guys are gonna spoil a little bit.
Oh no, it's
Go
fine.
ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay.
That's what this is about.
So Almond and Kaneki, they were just sitting there talking and stuff, just about Akira and like everything that's going on and like how each other feels. Well, Almond, he was sitting there thinking about it because he hasn't seen her in so long and like he's kind of like grieving a little bit because he kind of misses his chance and stuff. But then he asked Kaneki like how he felt if someone that kind of disappeared or someone that he cared about just went missing and like what would he do if they came back? And then Kaneki just kind of like he paused and he was just like so that he would be scared because they'd be scared to kind of lose him again. And Ishida, he's kind of like he's really obvious almost about like making like foreshadowing, and I'm like, is he gonna come back? Is he gonna be scared to lose him again?
Yeah, we still don't know if he's alive or not, or if he's in, you know, in Kaneki's belly, but
What
there's, oh, sorry.
Sorry.
It's okay.
One idea too that I noticed that Ishida usually does, like, he usually brings back a character the same chapter that it was in the original Tokyo Ghoul. Like Tsukiyama was introduced again in Re whenever he was first introduced like overall in Tokyo Ghoul. Like it's always like the same chapters almost. And I don't know, part of me kind of thinks like maybe if Hina is alive or if he will be revealed to be alive, maybe it might be the same chapter whenever Hina was dying or was missing all that time. So
Yeah, I
I'm
see
like,
what you're saying.
maybe that time. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that is a possibility, most definitely. See, with Amon and Akira, Ishida, what he likes to do is he likes to throw a lot of parallels between characters together, like, for instance, Kaneki and Utsuki. Like, there's a lot of similarities between them, and Ishida does this on purpose, and we don't know why. He just likes to see his characters suffer, I guess. I don't know. And thank you for sharing. Anyone else have any future predictions of what might happen next in the series?
There are no wrong answers.
There's no wrong answers, just predictions. That's why we're here. We're here to potentially spoil.
We'll tell you you're wrong when it comes out.
Yeah, I'd probably post on Instagram about it or something.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
It's like, I knew this was going to happen. Usually when I predict something in Tokyo Ghoul, it happens. I predicted the whole thing with Kaneki coming back. A lot of people didn't think he was going to, but I'm like, heh, I was right. Anyone else have any, like, predictions or theories they want to share? Yeah.
Invasion of ghouls.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of bad ghouls out there, but Goat's mission is to try to get equality. Like, they're trying to make them seem like not all ghouls are evil. Like, they're not all mindless, flesh-consuming monsters, if you get what I'm saying. I mean, yes, there are good ghouls, but the bad outnumber the good, so we don't know if there's going to be an invasion or not. Maybe, who knows. Thank you. Anyone else have any predictions they want to share, or any theories? Any
They could
3 days
just-
alive theories?
If they could get Yoshimura on TV, everyone would be like, oh my god, they're so adorable.
Yes?
I was thinking if they did actually reach peace, though, it'd probably be something similar to like the government stepping in and making it happen, and then probably like the actual citizens forming into more of a in a similar way of like a
Yeah,
racist
kinda like,
thing and be against and cause riots against them and things like that.
Yeah, kind of like how sometimes NATO or the Environmental Protection Agency steps in to do things. You're probably right. That's probably what's going to happen. The government's going to eventually protect ghouls and make it illegal to kill them, or kill the ones that are doing bad out there, like the ones who are killing people on purpose to get back at people. You know, back at the government. But
What if like Rise makes an appearance?
Rize?
Yeah. That would be like the most messed up thing. She like comes out of this stuff.
I mean, she is.
Like-
She is canonically
I'm
alive.
sitting-
Yes.
I'm thinking about it. Just this is your mind.
I mean, yes, she is canonically alive. Yes.
Well, if they wind up like actually gaining peace, it would almost seem like logically that one of the stipulations behind that is the ghouls have to join the CCG to hunt down the rogues.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean that might
Yeah.
happen. Or I kind of predicted the CCG is just probably gonna fall in on itself because I mean almost all the Washu family is wiped out at this point. The only remaining member of the family is like the illegitimate half son Furuta. He's the only one remaining, and he's right now the director of the CCG. So he's the head honcho, and Lord knows what he's gonna do next. He is unpredictable. I swear to God, this man is unpredictable. I mean, the whole thing with him being a clown and being a half ghoul and being able to take down Eto single-handedly, that shit's crazy. He is a one messed up man. I will tell you. He is a quadruple agent.
Quadruple agent.
He is. He worked for the CCG, he worked for V, he worked for the Augiri, and he worked for clowns. So you can't tell me that this man knows everything about everyone in Tokyo. Yes, every ghoul. You know what I mean. Anyone else? Want to share anything about theories, predictions? Any He Days Alive theories or any?
You really want that, don't you?
I really do. I want
You want to hear the He
I
Days
want to hear
Alive.
someone say something.
Or
He did.
maybe, at some point, you find out Kaneki's father shows up out of nowhere.
Jerry.
He
Kaneki's
gives her.
dad.
Hey, I'm
Kaneki's
just
dad
saying.
is canonically dead. He is.
And what if he is the one that started the whole Ghoul thing?
We don't know.
Just
If that was
saying.
the case,
Just
then
saying.
Kaneki's dad, if that were possible, he would be a ghoul. Kaneki would have been a natural born ghoul if his father was a ghoul.
It means like that he's the one who started the rules.
Oh.
Like he's the one who made the rules.
Yeah.
That would be pretty messed up, actually.
I'm just saying. I mean.
That would be messed up. And that would probably explain why his father's absent. or sorry, not absent, dead.
The ghoul killed him.
Well, the thing is, he is dead because it mentions his ashes in an urn. They
What?
cremated him.
I'm just saying.
Are they sure that?
Yeah, I was
We
just saying.
don't know. That's
I'm
just
saying, just.
that's just what's been said in the manga. I'm just going by what the manga says and
Hell,
what
they
Ishida
could-
has put in stone for us.
Hell, they could have just burned a chair.
Yeah, like,
We don't-
We,
nah,
see,
we
we
don't
see
know.
Sprinkle it.
I used to be a chain smoker, and
Just sprinkle. His dad.
Please don't bring that into Tokyo Ghoul. We don't need it. We already have
Was your dad's
Syama as the
cigarette
walking meme.
ashes?
And any like theories anybody wants to share or any
Personally,
other predictions?
Personally, I believe that if the human ghoul coexistence came in to effect, eventually there's just going to be all-out war between humans and ghouls. Because that
I do
always
accept that.
happens, no matter where you look. Every time there's two species and they find like we're friends now, all-out war. Like immediately, like a year afterwards,
Kind of like
we're
Captain
shooting
America
each
Civil
other.
War.
Yeah, it's like
Kind of
someone
just
throws
ends
a
up in one
nut
big
in the
argument and
gear.
they end up fighting
Exactly.
each other like
It gets
punching
so
rats.
much worse.
Yeah,
It gets
I just
so
thought of
much
something would be like a cool twist is how what was it Yoshimura who
Yoshimura?
Yes,
yeah who had the coffee shop.
Mr.
Yeah.
Smiley.
Yeah,
I
like
like
if they like started a franchise of coffee shops, so that way they could actually transport human remains in between
Yes.
all the territories.
That would be a very interesting way to go about it.
The
honestly.
underground coffee shop.
Yeah, the underground
Huh.
coffee shop. The black market for news.
Boom! Shots fired.
Anyone else want to share anything? I'm open to anything, just about. And I don't bite, I promise. You don't have to think of anything, just, if something comes to your mind, just.
You want to agree with my ghouls are insects idea?
You know,
Tell you,
actually,
it's a
there is a
mosquito
lot
bite.
of
If you
Tell
agree,
it.
don't raise your hand.
I don't
I'm
think,
right.
I think it's just a genetic
there's
mutation.
actually a lot of insect symbolism in Tokyo.
Yeah,
That's
there
what
is.
I'm saying.
Tuca-
I agree.
yeah,
And there's a
Tuca's
lot
wings.
of the
And
tarot
yes.
card symbolism in the show, and people dig into that too deep with the whole tarot card thing. I'm like, okay, that's cool, but
Yeah, what?
could you
what-
stop overhyping
Wasn't
it? Like,
wasn't it Hinami's father? When he was, butchered down, his kinquai was like it looked like a centipede.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Kaneki's Kakaja is a.
yeah, Kaneki's
Is a centipede.
half Kakuja.
Oh, let's not go back. Oh,
Yeah, Kaneki, well,
Jesus
technically it's a half Kakuja, but at the time, Kaneki's half Kakuja, when he was cannibalizing ghouls, looked somewhat like a centipede. And I don't know why Ishida has the whole insect thing in this.
There's also when he was talking about the Metamorphosis book,
Yeah.
That,
Frank
yeah.
Kafka's, and drawing conclusions
That
from
Eto
that.
wrote. Yeah.
I mean, there is a lot of insect symbolism. I don't share that theory. That I feel like they
It
they
makes sense,
evolved.
though.
I feel
It
like they
does make
evolved next to humans as a primary predator and as an apex predator. That's why they look like humans because
Well, see
it-
that one.
yes,
See, that was
I
my
agree.
original
It-
thing was that they had to have been a apex predator of some sort at least because their only food source comes from humans. They can't eat any other meat.
yeah.
No, I still question why coffee is a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes absolutely no sense even for an anime. But
I'm telling
Well, I
you, they
guess we'll
revealed
just
that.
find out.
coffee is my energy.
Maybe it's there to throw you off.
Say
Yeah,
that?
it could be.
It's just to put a damper in any theory.
Again,
Yeah,
we
that could
really
be
don't
like
know where they came from
camouflage
or even
aspects.
why
We're
they
talking about
exist, but in
actual
this,
evolution.
Everything
this
can be
universe,
solved with a
Coffee's
good
been
cup
around
of Joe.
forever.
Exactly.
Good cup of
It could have
Joe.
been something that literally evolved.
Oh, because the coffee plant's like a plant, and the coffee beans and sugar come from a plant.
And coffee's been around
Insects eat
forever.
plants.
So it could have been like she said, like a camouflage aspect.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Like the chameleon thing,
I'm not a ghoul.
'Cause they
I'm
look-
drinking coffee.
Yeah, I'm totally human. Don't mind me. But yes, I do believe that the metamorphosis theory is definitely plausible, for sure. Because I do believe ghouls did evolve alongside humans in the Tokyo Ghoul universe. Not in our universe, obviously. But in the Tokyo Ghoul universe, they evolved alongside humans, and since, they evolved, people feared them until, Quinkeys were invented.
And I think it's even implied, like pretty early on, that they've always been around.
Yeah, they've always been.
It's like dogs, cats, like.
Like, even in the
Yeah.
Tokyo Ghoul one-shot that Ishida wrote before Tokyo Ghoul came out, it even states that. So, I mean, we still don't know where they came from, but wherever they came from, I'm sure Ishida will reveal to us gladly at the end of Re or
And the
whenever he
coffee.
decides to end the
And
series.
the
or whatever.
coffee.
Anyone else? Before we move on to romance. Yes? Could you speak up a little bit?
Huh?
Could you speak up?
Oh yeah. So in the recent chapters, Butsuki, well, more like just Uta, how was just not revealed like that just not showed up his Kagane, like what it actually looks like, because it's never been showed ever until like recently, and or at least I think that was his Kagane at least, or like how like his face can change as well. That's why he's known as the no face. And, like I feel like Uta is like such a unique character, and I kind of want to know like what his plan is. Also like what he's going to do with Mitsuki. Is he like going to play Mitsuki? I don't know.
See, that's another thing we don't know is Uta is a man of many faces and a man of many questions. We don't know everything about Uta. He's very mysterious.
The only two characters I have to know more about is Uta and Noro. I love Noro.
Noro was a great character. We still don't know a lot about him, but he's he's
want to
gone.
know
He's dead.
more.
But we do want to know more.
That and his mask is awesome. It's that Glasgow smile.
Anyone else want to add anything before we move on to the ships? Anyone? Yes?
Since y'all are talking about insects, maybe they used to live on a mutated planet that mutated them. Yeah.
And they would have used
Ghouls are
space.
aliens.
He's taking.
What I think is, that's a good place to start. But what I think, going with your theory, I essentially think not maybe evolved on a different planet, but perhaps a meteor hit the planet and it caused, the mutation in their DNA to become what they are.
Like a viral mutation.
Sort of, yeah. Like their DNA changes and they grow this thing called a Kagane and they don't know what to do with it and they just simply start craving human flesh for some weird reason and they can't eat
They're
normal foods
zombies.
anymore. They're essentially like zombies, but they're living.
Or the humans did it. They
Maybe
caused it to
Yes, sir.
mutate.
In the back.
Possible theory is after the iron bomb was dropped in Japan, maybe that blew away all the food sources for all the insects, so the only thing they had to eat was human flesh.
Yay, finally people picking up on the insect
that
theory.
is a good theory, but it goes
Love
back
these
to the
people.
whole thing with ghouls have always been around. So I don't think that would work. I mean, it's a good theory. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to disprove you or
You're
down
wrong.
you in any way. I'm not trying to say you're wrong, but going back to what the
We're fine.
Okay. But going back to what Miss Ma'am said earlier, they've always been around. So, I mean, it's a good theory, but I don't think it's plausible. You tried. Thank you.
You tried, but you failed.
I would give you candy, but I don't have it.
Give them coffee.
I'll give you a hug.
Yeah, he'll give you a hug. Anyone else want to add anything before we move on? Anybody? We good?
Yo.
Okay, let's move on
No,
to...
someone raised their hand.
no, she was giving us a thumbs up.
Oh,
So,
okay.
moving on to the favorite part. Ships, why we love them, and which ones are canon. We're going to probably debate about this until the end of the panel. Okay, be honest, how many of you ship Hide and Kaneki? A bunch of hands. That's a lot less than I thought.
I retract my statement. You're right.
That's a lot less than I thought. I thought at least 70% of the fandom shipped it. Guess I was wrong. But
You're wrong.
But the most popular ship in the fandom, but it's not canon that we know of, is the Trash King ship.
What?
The Skiyama.
Skiyama and Kaneki.
The joke in the fandom is that Skiyama is trash.
He's a trash can.
He's a walking trash can. But it's the
French
most
trash.
popular in the series. After that, I think comes the Hide and Kaneki ship, and then Toka and Kaneki, and then it just kind of drifts off from there. I can't list them all. There's so many ships. And so many have sailed. Which ones do you guys like, and do you think it'll be canon? Anyone want to share a favorite ship? I'm not going to judge, I promise. Even if it's Yaoi, Yuri, go ahead and share. Just keep it PG-13, please. Please. Don't raise it like that. Anybody want to share their ships? I'm not going to say anything.
I thought for like a slim second, like through the books and through the anime, that I thought Kaneki and Hinami.
That is a ship, but I don't ship it simply because Hinami sees Kaneki as a big brother figure, and Hinami's like 15, so she's underage. She wouldn't be right for him. Huh?
Kind of implied Hinami Toka.
Kaneki's underage and Toka's like 19, so.
This is an anime.
I know it's an anime, but I don't ship it either. I'm sorry. I don't have a lot of Yuri ships in the fandom. Anyone else?
Well, I don't really ship it personally, but also comparing the
Which character?
Kuni and Toka's brother.
Ayato?
Yeah, Ayato.
The Ayakane? Oh, I love
Yeah.
Ayakane. Don't you just love the angsty teenager and the calm, cool, collected older guy? Like, so cute. My personal favorite is, well, my OTP is Toka and Kaneki. It's always has been from episode 1 of Tokyo Ghoul. I'm like, they're gonna end up together. I just know it. Yeah, I can feel it in my bones. One of my personal favorites is, and please don't judge me for this. Please don't judge me for this, but I like Kaneki Cest. Does anybody else, please?
Self-cest is
At
the
least
best
one
cest.
person, please raise your hand. Because I feel alone. I really do. I don't see a lot of fan art of it. And like, it's
I'll draw it.
like the one in that far right is Kaneki Cest. The Heisei and the Bifurcated Kaneki. That's what I ship. Like, I ship any Kaneki with himself.
Huh.
Please don't judge me harshly because I like it, but it's just a weird thing I like.
I can feel.
But does anybody else? Please tell me someone else likes this. At least one other
We
person.
did date Rize for a little while. Rize is part of him now.
Rize and Kaneki is my no TP because
No TP. Actually never heard that.
because she only used him for food. So I'm sorry. He even states that Rize was probably one of the biggest mistakes in his life, even though he truly loved her and she never reciprocated his feelings. Yes.
What's no TP and OTP?
OTP stands for one true pairing, and
No TP means no.
Not a true pairing.
No.
How about
Okay.
All of the no.
And then there's bro TP, where it's like
It's not really a ship.
it's
but
not a
they're-
ship. You're just bros,
Oh.
but in like a true pairing kind of way. There's also OT3, which is one true threesome. But
What was that?
it
What was
exists.
that about a peach?
I haven't said anything explicit,
Point taken.
Yeah.
so therefore
Yes.
can't be taken down for
I like this guy.
something. Anyone else want to share ships, please? Please. I'm only barely an hour in, and we've got like an hour and a half, so please feed me your ships or talk about them. Just,
I like Uta and Roma.
it's okay. I mean, I kind of ship it, but I just don't really ship it that much.
They're so cute.
They are.
They're adorable.
They fought each other in the youth, but they've kind of moved past their differences.
It's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah, pretty much.
They almost kill each other.
Yeah, they do.
Didn't they level the third ward?
Yeah,
They leveled
something like that. I haven't gotten that far in Tokyo Ghoul. It's funny. I haven't finished Tokyo Ghoul, but yet I'm caught up in Tokyo Ghoul. Isn't that ironic? Anyone else want to share ships? And why you love them, and which ones you think are canon and are gonna happen? Please,
Who has a ship that they don't want to see?
Yeah, who has a ship that they absolutely hate and cannot stand and wish did not exist?
Anything with big
I feel alone. I feel kind of depressed. No one's
Anything.
raising their hands. Yes?
So I follow like this webtoon page on like Facebook, and I guess one of the admins shipped Toka and Arma, and I'm like, how is that possible? It is
Toka and who?
Arma.
Arima?
Oh yeah, my bad.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that shit. That's what you would call a crack ship. A crack ship is essentially.
They all crack.
No, a crack ship is essentially when you pair a character with a character that they haven't even met or interacted with before, or they don't even know them.
Yeah, it's just
That's a
like
crack
they
ship.
post like pictures of it, and I'm like, why?
Yeah, there's. I've also come across dirty pictures of them, and I'm just like, who makes this and why?
I feel like it's because Toka's the main girl. There's a lot of like females that are gonna project on her.
Yeah, that is true. And
So-
Arima is a nice piece of meat. I will say that much.
I love Toka though. She's so cute. She's so adorable.
I mean, have you seen Arima's butt? Like, I'm being dead serious. Have you seen it? It's like a holy ass, man. I'm sorry. I had to make the joke. And he's got nice thighs. Kaneki's got nice thighs too. But yeah, the whole crack ship thing, I'm kind of okay with it. It just depends on the people that are being shipped together. Like, anyone else want to listen to crack ships they've come across on the internet? Besides the Arima and Toka ship? Yes?
What's Mato's daughter's name again?
Akira?
Yeah, Akira. Yeah, her and Juzo.
That is something I've never seen before. Wow. I've never seen it. Where have you seen it? Look, I don't know where your mind is right now, but let's get it out of the gutter, please.
I can't say. With the one-eyed owl.
Who with the one-eyed owl?
Kaneki.
That's actually not a crack ship. They do interact and they do actually talk to each other. And yes, that ship kind of exploded after the whole Kaneki came back and like there was a bunch of fan art after because she licked his eye, and she said that she loved him. So it got creepy after that. I mean, seriously, she did lick his eye. Look it up. There's even a lot of fan art. Another personal favorite I like is the Furuta and Kaneki. That one also exploded after he became partners with him. That definitely exploded. Like, I've seen at least 2 or 3 dojins of them together, and I want one. Does anybody know what a dojin is, or dojinshi, however it's pronounced? Nod your head, I know what it is. Okay, for those who don't know what it is, it's essentially
It's a dirty manga.
It's a dirty manga, essentially. But it's with the characters.
They're not always dirty.
Not all of them are 18 plus, but most of them are. You just gotta look.
75%.
At least 75% of them are
Edgy
dirty.
ones are bad.
But yeah, there are cute, fluffy ones, but most of them are like hardcore and stuff.
Those are better.
Yes, they are. I actually have a Skiyama and a Kaneki one at home that's been signed by Kaneki. Okay,
Yeah,
so
last
funny
year
story.
at MTAC.
It wasn't MTAC, it was a KaiCon.
Oh, it was a
last
KaiCon,
year.
not MTAC.
So I went to a KaiCon and Kaneki's voice actor came and so did Skiyama's. So I bought a Skiyama and Kaneki dojin in dealership. And there was a few Tokyo Ghoul cosplayers behind me trying to get their autograph, and I'm like, dude, what if I get them to sign this? So I approached Kaneki's voice actor. Mr. Tyndall's a nice fella. Please, just, if you see him, don't tell him that it was me. Basically, I sat down and I said, you don't
Sign
have
this.
to sign this, but I would like you to. And he signed it and wrote Kaneki on it with a heart. And he's like, so what is this? And I pointed to the R18 in the bottom corner. I said, oh, it's a dirty book.
For Kaneki and Skiyama,
And
he just goes,
he's-
I didn't even know that existed.
He didn't know it existed, and I felt so bad for having him sign it. I'm like, I am so sorry, sir. I mean, I kind of regret it, but I don't at the same time. It's like
Then
one
she
of
went
my-
to Skiyama's voice actor.
Yeah, I
tried
tried
to
to
do the same thing.
Yeah, I tried to get Skiyama to sign it, but
He asked what it was
unfortunately-
before
Yeah,
he
he asked
signed
what it
it.
was. He actually asked
He
what it
was
was.
sorry to that.
I told him, and he said, "Oh no, honey, I can't sign this. I'll get in trouble with him."
He was so he was so sad that he couldn't
Yeah, he
sign
was
it
polite about it.
because he said his agent would have his
Yeah.
ass for signing it.
But he did say, "I do love that stuff, though." So if you ever see Michael J. Tatum, ask
So
him
you're
about
into it,
Skiyama and Kaneki and see if he ships it. I'm sure people have already asked him, but if you see him, ask him. He'll probably say yes, I should. Anyone else want to share ships? Anything? I know it's a funny story, but the thing is, the cosplayers behind me were saying, "Don't let your dreams be me." So I did it, and I had barely any regrets. Anyone else want to add anything? I noticed you kind of had your hand up a little with the ships. No, you didn't have your hand up because you kind of moved your arm, so I thought you wanted to say something. Okay, never mind. So who thinks that Toka and Kaneki are going to end up being canon? At least
You're just refusing
45,
it, aren't
50%
you?
of the room.
You're refusing that ship, aren't you?
It's got to
It'll
be
be
canon,
canon and then
dude.
she'll die.
If you look at Ishida's Twitter,
She's
there
gonna-
at least 80% of his official art is Toka and Kaneki
She's gonna
together.
die.
She's
There's
gonna
even
die. She's
there is
going
even
to
a
die.
calendar that has her in a wedding
Matter of
dress.
fact, he's gonna do it. He's gonna be
Tragedy.
the one to kill her.
He's going to do it. They are going to get
Tragedy.
married and they are going to have beautiful
He's
children.
gonna kill her.
Yes?
really all the official art is just an elaborate ruse by him, and he had to get killed?
You
Her
don't
last
know
words
that.
are going to be, "I love you."
Please.
Those are going to be the last
Well,
words.
I guess we won't know until it comes to it. I guess.
She's gonna say I love you. He's gonna say, you know, either.